This is to see if my microphone is working. 2 o'clock today. We do our Wednesday at 2 live. Hey, how you like the sweatshirt? Huh? We do our Wednesday at 2 live. And after about 20 minutes, the microphone just died on me. Now, I don't know until someone comes on here. I don't know if this microphone is still working or is working now. I went in, rebooted, did some things, checked some things, did a test. It seems like it's fine. I don't know what happened. Um, so as soon as somebody comes on here and verifies that it works or it doesn't work, we'll be good to go. Yeah, normally I will not do a Wednesday evening live because there's too many other people. You can hear me, Kirk, huh? Okay, that's just weird. Hi, Debbie. Yeah, that's just weird. I don't know what happened. You guys said I grabbed my grout bag, so I won't do. Maybe I should try that again. I'll grab the grout bag, and is it still working? Hey, Wayne Martin. I'm glad. Yeah, I don't. Man, that was just so weird. Just like right in the middle, it just goes bump, and it's out. And I didn't move. I didn't touch anything. Hey, Paula. Yeah, I didn't touch a thing. So I just don't understand it. I guess it was. Yeah, you get. You grab that and the sound got all distorted. Right, that's what you guys were saying, and I just think that's so funny because nothing changed. Nothing happened here. Now, probably, and this is what happens to me. I don't know. You things happen for a reason sometimes. So maybe I was supposed to get the art cut and the rest of my stuff done, which I did do. So maybe that was because I would have just been talking till probably we started at 2. I probably would have went till 3:30. Who knows? And wouldn't have got all my stuff done because it's getting dark now. I mean, it's what time is it? It's 56 degrees, almost 7 o'clock, and it's getting dark. But 56 degrees, it's cold. I had to put the sweatshirt on. I couldn't believe it. But it sounds good now. Okay. Yeah, all I did was went into the system and I looked and I did some tests in there, but I didn't change anything. I rebooted the computer. Um, I just went in and there's external and internal microphones, made sure my external microphone was working, and it did a test and it played it back. So I everything seemed okay. Now that was after I rebooted, so maybe I needed to reboot. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't change anything. I did learn a little bit more about the inner workings. Who goes into their sound, the area of sound that often. Not many people, so I'm not one of them anyway. So I did go in there and got that taken care of. Um, so anyway, I'm glad it's working. I appreciate that. Um, Yeah, it went. You moved that mortar. I know, B Hall. I know. I don't get it. I don't know what happened. Where's Captain Billy? Captain Billy. He might have had to work overtime at Menards today. They've been busy over there. Maybe something became. No, I don't, Lynn. I don't know. Nothing moved. It's just one of those computer glitches. It's just one of those things that happen. I guess. Sound like a radio interference, but don't know. Now, it could have been one of them spy planes or something going over and jammed me or something. I wonder if they got jammers, something like that. I used to name my the last router that I had. I named it FBI van. I saw that somewhere because if you go into your settings and you look for Wi-Fi, you can see all your neighbors, their Wi-Fi, and it's just all locked, but you can see the names, and people come up with some really crazy names. So I had FBI van. So maybe the FBI were blocking me. Who knows? Speaking of Captain Billy, I need his help installing siding and trim I bought from Menards. Siding and trim. I have to do siding myself. I want to side this garage as a project next year. I'm tired of painting it. It can't be too expensive and it can't be too hard to do. So just time consuming like everything, but I got the time. So So I tell you what, when I learn how to do it next year, I'll help you out. I was telling you that's Midwest old man. That's what I was thinking. It's just, things happen for a reason. And, maybe it just wanted me to get out of here and get working. And like I said, I got to mow the front, mow the back, got that taken care of and cleaned up some stuff and I put some backing rod into where the steps, the limestone meets the house. I put a half-inch backer rod. If you know what that is, um, it's just this stuff here. It's Silca 3/4 inch closed cell backer rod is what they call it. And I put that back there, and then I put some. It's not caulk, but it's a Silca polyurethane something self-leveling that goes in there. So that's going to seal that between the limestone and the house. Usually just a gap like this because I had uncut stone, or I should say, yeah, uncut stone. So the edges were not flush. So they were, and that's all they had. So I took it. So knowing that, I'm going to have a little gap because it's going to be jagged on the edges. So I figure I could just clean that up. No big deal. We were at Menards and all the Christmas lights. Yeah, that's where I have to go. I saw that on my Facebook. I had, like 6 years ago or something that came up, and it said that I had been there. I think it was last week. I had been there 6 years ago last week, and all the trees were out. That was the picture I took. So I got to get there because if they have those Christmas lights at the vintage ones, C9s, the bigger ones, in that vintage look, I'm gonna buy some more of those. Well, you guys saw last time. They're this size bulb, so it's a big C9. When I say C9, that's what this is. It's a larger one, and they had the vintage looking ones. This is a True Tone. Pretty sure this is a True Tone. Maybe not. Nope. Well, this is the old version True Tone. See how it's different shaped? It's not shaped exactly the same. This was one of their first versions. Their versions that they came out with recently are more looking like this. So you like the sweatshirt. Now, I was just going to say, this is the Hunter Green, I think it's called, or green. The only thing is, and this is the first time I tried it on. Now, my wingspan is a little bit longer than probably most people. So I'm hard to fit. So that's too much gap there. This is an extra large. So if anybody goes to my store and buys one of these, get yourself one size up. I really like the comfort of one size up. I like when they're a little bit looser, and the sleeves are just a little bit longer. It hangs down over my waist further down, so I don't get plumber's crack. So I would get, this is an XL, but I would get double XL. Matter of fact, I'll probably order one for myself. These are like samples. And this one's got the YouTube logo. So if you buy them, you don't get the YouTube logo because they're technically not allowed to sell anything with a YouTube logo, but they can make it for me. But they can't sell them. So, and retirement is underrated. This company I'm working with, local company here, is Teresa and Freddie. They, I think I gave you guys, I don't have the tag with me, but if you want to, get yourself a store set up, even if you're just going to do a hat or a shirt or something like that, they're more than glad to set that up for you. Any channel creators who want to get into that, you don't do anything. All you do is set up, maybe you can give them a logo or they'll give you a logo. You could share that information and then you just set up like a PayPal and they basically do all the work. It's what they call print on demand, Printify, and there's another one out there that does the same thing, but they do the work and they're for me, they're trustable because I can drive to their house. So, and they've done a great job so far. And I think we've got 17 orders already. I think it was 17. I was trying to follow the order numbers, and a lot of them were mugs. We did put a new logo onto the website as well. So we have 2 logos out there right now. So, but the mugs, and I hate to be trying to be the salesman here, but the mugs are pretty nice too. I like these. We've had, I think, 7 or 8, maybe 9 mugs sold already. So people are drinking out of their Buzz mugs. And it's funny seeing Steve at Steve's retirement corner. He's wearing his Buzz hat that he bought, and he got a couple mugs too. He got a pink one for his baby, Connie, and so it was nice to see that. And Elton at Elton's Retirement Journey and Travels, I think is his channel name. He had one of my T-shirts on. It's just funny when you're just scrolling through videos, checking out. Hey, here's a Buzz shirt. I just get a kick out of that. It's really funny. Jesse in Asia, how are you doing? Yeah, welcome to fall. Cleveland should be, yes, it's 56 degrees. And that's why I said I had to put this, my Cleveland Indians shirt on. Now, hopefully you guys aren't, you're not going to get mad, but because, you want to see the, but yeah, I still got this shirt, 2007 Central AL Central Division Champions, 2007 with the old Chief Wahoo on there. So don't be mad. I mean, that is kind of, I don't want to say it's racist, but it is kind of, I'm not crazy about the name. They could have changed the logo a little bit. I think the Redskins one was fine for Washington Redskins. I thought that was looked like a cool dude. I mean, that one looked good. This one, yeah. But you should have seen the 1920s one from the Indians. That one, I'm glad they got rid of. But they could have just tweaked this one. They didn't have to take it away. But whatever, they do what they do. Hey, Slim, how you doing? Is the new artwork going to be available on the mugs? I don't know. I don't know. To answer the question, I don't know. I think they're keeping it with that particular logo. I can ask if there's, because this is a different type of logo. Similar to that, but a little bit different. I don't know if they're going to be able to, they can do it, but I haven't asked them to change anything. So to answer your question, I don't know. And I said, hello, Slim and Angela. My spearmint tea and honey tastes better. Yes, Carlos, you're one that got one. Yes, thank you. Yeah, Captain Billy, he's here. You got a request. Somebody needed you trekking with Deb and Mike. How you doing? Someone needed you to work on their siding. They just bought some from Menards, and they need you to come over there and help them put that together. No, we're just checking our microphone. We won't be here long. I'm not going to bother everybody because this is not our normal night, but we signed on at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. And yeah, John, we signed on at 2 o'clock on today. And the microphone, after about 20 minutes, it just went dead. Never did anything, didn't change anything, didn't bump anything that I know of. I picked up a grout bag and all of a sudden the sound went dead. I checked everything. Everything seemed normal. Nothing changed, but the sound was gone. So I ended it. And then I just wanted to try it out. That's what the title of this is. Hey, my weird microphone, is it working? And I'm glad it is. Again, all I did was basically reboot. So as a Royals fan, we can sit back and root for our divisional foe, the Tigers. Yeah, my niece, she's out on the West Coast there, and she got to go to the Seattle-Detroit game in Seattle. I think they lost that first game. And then she was traveling, and she just left Detroit. and I think she just left Detroit this morning. And she said if she would have traveled, if she would have made her plans differently, she may have been able to catch that game. I mean, she'd have to get tickets and everything else, but I think that's what she was saying. I saw a Facebook post about that. Captain Billy. Oh yeah, 6 a.m. on Saturday, so you could be first. Holy cow! Yeah, John, it is working. I didn't do anything. Why are you buying that defective siding from Menards? Didn't you hear about the recall? Oh boy. Buzz, why is your mouth moving and we're not hearing anything? Just kidding. Yeah, that's definitely the way it was for sure. And you know what bothers me is I can understand problems happening. Everybody has them. Everybody has problems. They happen. And usually you find out why. And what's frustrating is when something like this, and this is a minor thing, it's not a big deal, but when something like that happens and you don't know why, you can't figure out why it happened, so you can't prevent it from happening again. That's the worst part about it. And again, it's not the end of the world. Who cares? We just come back later. So far, is retirees aren't hit by government shutdown unless maybe you're traveling by plane. No, everybody's still traveling. Well, there has been a couple airports I heard there was something going on. But yeah, that's the way it goes, Roxy. That's the way it goes. Well, I'm glad the thing is working. I don't have problems, just new opportunities for solutions. That's right. Yeah, in the manufacturing business, we used a lot of the Japanese philosophy, which is the Toyota philosophy. There's books out there called the Toyota Way. They were the first ones that came up with the better quality. And nothing against American companies or German companies or Italian companies, but Toyota, Japanese companies did it right, did it the best, and possibly are still doing it the best. But they would come up with all these, and we had to learn through the years all these different things, and Gemba walks, and go and see. That was their biggest thing, was go and see. Don't figure out what the problem is before you go out and check to see what the problem is, because it's too many people decide, wow, that's what it is. Well, they want you to dig deeper and deeper and deeper to see what the real cause is. And that's what I try to do here. I try to take my education and I did a deep dive and I couldn't find anything. Hey, the aliens didn't take him. Nope. Aliens didn't take me. Nope. But I wonder, I'm really wondering if there are, because, and I did that UFO story. I did because I live near NASA, Jet Propulsion. And in the 70s, and I did this video, but in the 70s, we lived on the road. So there's a road over here, about a mile away. Behind it is a big cemetery. Behind that is the Cleveland Metro Parks. And then right there above the river is NASA Jet Propulsion. And one night there was a full moon. Me and my brothers shared one room. And there was a window over his bed. And it was a bright moon. And we were going to bed. We were 13. He was probably 11. I was 13, somewhere in there. And the moon got blocked. So, I'm talking to him. He's facing me. I'm facing him. He's looking at me. And I'm looking at him. And all of a sudden, he's dark because the moon got covered up. And I said, what the heck? I said, clouds are coming. It looked like a nice sky. And I said, oh, you got a cloud? And he goes, no, look at this. And I swear, I see it pictured right now. There was this is 1972 or 73. Okay. So well before any of this crazy stuff that you hear, like drones and stuff like that, well before drones that we knew of. And this thing was hovering. It was a saucer shaped thing, but it had small, like blue lights, and it was going like around like this. The lights were either on, off, on, off, on, off, or they were rotating on this sphere I really don't know, but they were like sort of like these lights behind me, these bluish lights behind me. And it started to rotate and it just sat there, dead silent. We had the window open. I think it was September, maybe late September. The window was open, didn't hear a sound, not one sound, and it hovered right there. So right in the neighbor's front yard where we're looking at it. And I ran in to get my parents, and I said, "Hey, there's something out here. There's something out here, you know." So yeah, whatever, you know. So my mom gets up and she walks over, and there's nothing. And my brother says it's gone. And I said, "Where did it go?" And he goes, "It just went that way," meaning back towards NASA. And never saw it again. Never heard about it again. But in my town, not too long after that, there was reports of a UFO crashing in the woods. So I don't know, but yeah. So aliens, maybe they did take me away and I didn't know it back then. Hey, Alton Bun, how you doing? I turned 65 on Monday, Scott. All right, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Toyotas, ain't they got them plastic brakes? I don't know. I got a magnet in a Vermont store of an alien saucer beaming up Bigfoot. Yeah. Yeah, I remember in Close Encounters of the Third Kind when they're around the table trying to figure out what was going on, and the one old timer was sitting back there, and they were talking about these spaceships, and he says, "I saw Bigfoot once." Yeah, I did. I saw an actual UFO. I can see it right in my mind's eye right now. I mean, I it's plain as day. So maybe I was one of those that got abducted. I don't know. It's funny because I know you bring up about the UFOs or the aliens, I should say. I was thinking about Crinkle Mouse today. Now, does anybody know who Crinkle Mouse is? If you know who Crinkle Mouse is, you and me are friends. Treasuries are normal. I've had some mature and bought new. No, no wacky tobacco. Nope. I don't know, Rick. I don't know what the problem was. I really don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, and I have no idea. We just bought a new RAV4 hybrid. Nice. Yeah, made in Japan, final assembly, no tariff hit to me. Yeah, cool. Um, the final assembly was here, though, right? Made in Japan, final assembly. Was it made here or because sometimes you get a lot of components and they just build them here. Like they'll send the frames, they'll send engines. They're pretty good about sending engines. Now, Toyota had a plant in West Virginia, I want to say, where they were building engines. I don't know if that plant's still there. The RAV4 is that's a good vehicle. Caught Buzz doing a secret show. Can't hide from Captain Billy. Just bought a new Subaru to beat tariffs and love it. Oh, that's good. Crinkle Mouse is what you see when you're on Wacky Tobacco. All right, John, you and me, we're buds. Saturday Night Live, Kate McKinnon. If you haven't seen that episode, man, I laughed. I just laughed. But for some reason, I was thinking about that today. I was thinking about Crinkle Mouse. I don't know why. The blood's rushing to my head, maybe. Oh, the Tigers won? Good. That's good. Yeah, my like I said, my nieces, they're Seattle fans. They're out towards that way. They're in Washington, actually, close to Seattle. I mean, it's a good drive to Seattle, but they've been to the Seattle Stadium for Game 1. They got to go, and so letting Detroit win, that's good. I like that. Rocky 78, how you doing? Yeah, but Kate McKinnon, you guys, if you guys haven't seen that Crinkle Mouse where they're abducted by aliens, that's a good one. That and the when they have the Sean Connery, who did the Sean Connery? That was on uh, Jeopardy. I think it was Jeopardy. Sean Connery with Jeopardy, and uh, that was funnier than heck too. All those episodes. Yeah, somebody on this chat knows Kate McKinnon. Isn't that something? RAV4 Hybrid is made here in the USA. Okay, the RAV4 Hybrid Prime plug-in is made in Japan. Okay. I remember as a kid seeing the Goodyear blimps flying at night and looking pretty cool. Wonder why we don't see them anymore. Oh, they're out there. When I worked in Akron, they used to travel above our shop all the time. And when there's special events down at Cleveland Browns stadiums, they got the blimps right out there. You can see them. When I was driving home, there was an area off 480 where I could see the stadium, and you'd see the blimp up there. Usually just one. Sometimes they'd have two out at the same time, almost like racing each other. But they parked them in Akron and not too far from where I was working. Somebody, who are the Browns playing this week? I think they're playing Pittsburgh, aren't they? I'm pretty sure. They used to have Coneheads. Yeah, Coneheads was pretty good. You played Sean Connery. You look just like him. Well, since I've seen you, I would say no. Norm Macdonald is Burt Reynolds. Yeah, those episodes were so funny. I try to catch them on YouTube every once in a while. Now I have to watch Crinkle Mouse tonight. NFL footballs are made in Ohio. Yes, they are. Yeah, there's somewhere in mid-Ohio somewhere. I can't remember the town. Yes, but that is true. Did you hear my wife? Norm was her favorite. Yeah, he was pretty good. All the old 70s or the old Saturday Night Lives were pretty decent. I mean, there were some really funny ones. Steelers on Sunday for the Browns. Yep. Time for glasses. Why do I need glasses? Why? That should give Browns an edge. I don't know. They could. Aaron Rodgers is. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is pretty good, but he can be beat easily. But the Steelers are always the Steelers. They're always tough. I mean, they don't lay down to nobody. And like we were talking today about Kansas City Chiefs, and that Dingleberry stand line, and he just stood there and didn't move. I mean, you look that up. That was just ridiculous. I don't get it. Somebody's betting on some of these games or something. I don't know. That game was just really weird. Wilson Sporting Goods, Ada, Ohio. Okay. Vaughn, you're in Destin, Florida, getting in some great metal detecting. Yeah, I wait until because it's been so dry. I hate trying to dig stuff up when the ground is so dry. But Vaughn, you're probably doing the beaches and the water, right? But yeah, for the ground, I wait until we just had rain yesterday. I mean, we haven't had hardly any rain in September and hardly any rain so far in October. I think it rained once now. Midwest made different countries. Kentucky, ours is Vin starting J. Pan dealer had two that came from Japan. Yeah. I like the old SNL claymation Mr. I got a Mr. Bill. I've got one in the house. And when you squeeze it, it says, "Oh no." I actually have one. I had it behind me last year. One of my videos, I had it behind me, checking to see if anybody would notice. A couple people did. Celebrity Hot Tub, yeah, that was a good one too. Or Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. There was just always some good ones, but yeah, when I get home, hoping to do some beaches like in Bay Village I haven't tried any beaches in Bay. I haven't tried that yet. I know the park system is getting weird about it. The Metro Parks used to give you a license to metal detect, and technically you're not allowed to dig. You can only surface mine, and then all of a sudden they stop doing the licenses. I have not met a park ranger yet that's bothered me or has given me any problems, but it depends on who's running the show, whether they're going to get strict or not. I'll bet you 25 the Browns beat the Steelers. Let's see. The NFL fix should be in, so I think the Browns will win. So I can't bet you because I'm ready for you. Or I agree with you. They're not ready for primetime players, yeah. Yeah, that's too bad that Gilda Radner passed at such an early age. And Belushi and even John Candy. Well, he was on Canadian one, but he passed. And who was the other? Chris Farley. He passed. Yeah, drugs will mess you up. Well, with Gilda, it was cancer, but some of the other ones, the drugs just mess them up big time. Yes. Vehicle's VIN number, first characters, country of origin. 1 USA, 2 Canada, 3 Mexico, 4 USA, 5 USA, Japan, Korea. Gummy and the Killer Bees, yeah. It's the bet 25 cents. Gumby, damn it. Hey, I won a bet. I bet somebody. I can't remember. What were we betting on? I think it was Michigan to lose, I think. And I think I won that bet. Didn't I, Rick? It wasn't with you, Rick, but it was with, I think, Jesse in Asia, I think, wasn't it? And he paid me, too. That was nice. Yeah, always something. Remember the mustache? No. But I'm still here, Buzz, so you got nothing. Captain Billy, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad. Well, it would have been. If I could find my graded standing Liberty quarter. Ooh, that would be a nice one. Yeah, Jesse, it was you. Yeah. I think I got lucky on that one. No Coke, Pepsi. That's right. Yeah. I tell you what, those were VIN number 7, built in Tasmania. Really? Those were. Hey, we got lucky, man. We really got lucky with some of these shows, and you take them for granted now, but shows that lasted a long time. But there's been shows here in the 80s and 90s and 2000s and 2010 20s, and I mean, I was just looking at Big Bang Theory. Was it going for at least 9 years? I didn't even think that was on that long, but I mean, we grew up with those people. Isn't that something? Watched them as kids, or if you even watched Roseanne Barr way back when, the one kid, he was on Big Bang Theory, and you watched him as a real young kid, or Two and a Half Men, before it went to Ashton Kutcher. You saw that little kid; he kept growing up. It's like we watch these kids and these young adults grow. It's kind of amazing. The point counterpoint, Jane, you ignorant slut. It's too funny, unacceptable. Yeah. You can't say this stuff like that unless you're in politics. Otherwise, you can't say stuff like that. Dana, sorry. You got to watch your Cubs. Yeah, sorry. Drew Carey show was awesome. Cleveland rocks. Yeah, Drew Carey too. That was a decent show back then. He's still doing Price is Right, I think. I don't like their studio setup. It's just not the same as Bob Barker had it. Ever since COVID hit, they did they shrunk that studio. They made it. It's just different. The show's different. We used to watch it all the time at 11 o'clock. It would come on and we DVR it or whatever. But now we don't watch it anymore. You need to scooch over to the right. Nobody can see your art. Well, I'm doing that for. You notice I'm doing that for a reason. You want me to go where? You want me to come over here, huh? All right. Is that better? I'll turn the whole thing. There you go. There's all your art. Well, Cartoon Marx is down there, and all the rest of them. Well, except for the cranes, all the rest of them are yours. Great music, also. Yeah, absolutely. As soon as I find time to fix the flooring around the safe, I'll dig out that quarter. You can multitask. Hey, Candygram, yeah. Or what was that? Land Shark, right? All right, man. That's some good. It was some good shows. Some really good shows. from the 70s, the 80s. I know the 80s music was really bad though. I mean, I know Hope to Prosper, when we went to the Rock Hall, he said that was his genre of music. And man, I just like 79 after the disco thing hit, 78, 79, 80, 81. Man, it just got bad for a while. Um, and then it started to get better, but there was like a 2 year, 3 year period where, man, that was just everything sucked, at least in my opinion. No, move over. Oh, Captain Billy, did you hear that? A Wednesday night live. Yeah, we're FTM 22. I was just practicing with my microphone. It went out on us today at 2:00. Our normal Wednesday 2:00. It just, after 20 minutes, the microphone went dead, and I don't know what happened. So I haven't figured it out, but it seems to be working. And so this was kind of a test, and we've got a 35-minute test so far to see if it's still working. But yeah, thank you for on the. Yeah, I was working on them today too, and put some a backer rod into it, and caulked up the back, and I still have to do some grouting, and I got some real thin areas that I have to put some stone in, but the majority's done. It's all mortared in. At least the steps are mortared in. So put my impregnator 511 on it, waterproofer. Got that done the other day, and so it's ready for the bathroom again. Candy Grams, yeah. Dan Aykroyd's impression of Richard Nixon, yeah, that was a good one too. Colin Blow, yeah. I am not a crook. The 90s new wave techno era was a mockery. Yeah, I tell you what, I remember distinctly. I was driving my 70 or 72 Le Mans, brown Le Mans. I know Kaz had the blue one, and I had, it was an AM in factory installed AM radio, and everybody put in an FM radio. You just bought this little, you hooked it in, and you listened to your FM through your two speakers or one speaker that you had. Our music wasn't that great. Now, eventually you put the two big speakers in the back or something. You remember that when you were 18, 19. But the music, I just remember going station to station to station, and it was like, this is crap. I cannot find anything I like. God, I hope it's not like this for long. And it was a long time in my mind. It seemed like a long time. It just wasn't any good. Yeah, there was one or two here or there, but after that disco era hit, 78, 79, 77, 78, 79, because I think it was Saturday Night Fever came out in 77, I believe. And then all that crap. I mean, hey, my wife really likes the disco, but I'm not a fan. Just not a fan. And then after that, it just got worse. It just got into this, like some weird stuff, Yeah, I know. I'm going to work on that bathroom. Well, this gave me incentive, because this was a project where I woke up and I'm like, oh, I got to do this again. And I stuck to it. I really stuck to it. And now I've got that. I'll do the bathroom and I'll stick to it and get that done. It'll be done by the end of October. I can almost assure you. I bought chlorine for the pool, 58. You would have waited until tomorrow. $58 for 8 gallons. Wow. I don't know if that's good or bad price. I have no idea. Rise was just watching Jay Leno Garage, who was talking with a guy with one of the Rockford Files Firebirds. Came back on YouTube, and there you were. Yeah, we're just messing around today. Not normal to be here on a Wednesday night. Pioneer 6x9 speakers. That's right. My friends and I would write our own skits. Deep Thoughts by Jack Candy. Oh, yeah, Deep Thoughts. I just, I don't know if you remember this one because he had so many, but at work, there was a guy, he was doing something, and he needed a hand, and I had 2 buckets I was carrying for another guy that had oil or water or something in them. And I walked past him and I said, hey, Mike, man, I really love to help you, but I got these buckets. I kept on walking. I don't know if you saw that Jack Handy one or heard that one. It just I actually used some of his stuff at work. I took disco lessons back in the day. Oh boy. Oh boy. Human League, Duran Duran. Ugh. Yeah, yeah, it's all right. Bee Gees, Chipmunks singing. They had some pretty decent songs. They weren't too bad. WKRP in Cincinnati. Yeah, we watched that quite a bit. Didn't Lonnie Anderson just pass not too long ago? I thought she passed sometime this year. My wife is gonna knock your block off. She loves the Bee Gees. I didn't say nothing. I said there's a few songs that were pretty good. I mean, I could probably name 10 of them, right? Well, you got two good ones. Well, two popular ones, I should say, from the movie. Um, and then they were around since what, the '60s. They didn't get pop. They were popular, then they faded out, and then they got popular again with the movie. And I think there's only one of those alive too. Out of the three or four brothers, there's only one alive. My friend drove the Starsky to Hutch Torino. Really? No kidding. Yeah, that I remember the red with the white stripe. I think it was. Yeah, you can buy a Ford Mustang DTS for up to 600,000 if you wait 2 years. Oh boy, I just can't see a car worth 600,000. Day 8 of my practice retirement. Oh, government employee. Yeah, an average Joe. That's right. That's right. You're at that weather station. Um, yeah. So you're not even going in at all. Huh. Oh, she died last month. Okay, yeah, I knew it was. It seemed recent. Lonnie Anderson, we're talking about. It seemed recent. Aykroyd doing Julia Child. Yeah, I'd do the hustle with you anytime. Oh, Cap. Oh, that's what I thought you were asking me, Captain Billy. I mean, I'm ready to go. I'll bring Mrs. Buzz out. She'll do that too. No, I've never. I don't dance. I don't dance. I do not dance. The CPR song. CPR song. I don't know what that one is. What's the CPR song? Oh, August 3rd. Yeah, so it wasn't it wasn't that long ago, right? 71 Mustang with an 8-track player. Oh yeah, hey Roxy, that's nice. Wouldn't it be nice if you kept that one? Just got out of the hot tub and here you are to entertain us. Wow, out of the hot tub. Hot tub. That's another one. Saturday Night Live in the hot tub. Sorry, Mama, we were reminiscing. Oh, to love somebody. Monday night, Herb Alpert, 90 now. Oh, I thought he passed too. No, I thought Monday night, 6, Herb Alpert, 90 now, and the Tijuana Brass and other delights. What a treat, 60 years since his Whipped Cream album. John, I thought Herb Alpert died already. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm thinking of someone else. Oh, staying alive, you do the CPR. I was trying to, yeah, I never heard of that. Yeah, I gotcha. Played trumpet at 90 with a sellout crowd of 1,000 people. No kidding. There was one song that it was popular in the '70s, and I don't really know any other songs. So just an instrumental, and I just don't remember any other one. Cheeseburger, no Coke, no Pepsi, Coke, no Coke, Pepsi. One of them. My neighbor will be in Cleveland visiting her aunt next week. Her aunt's going to be 96 years old. Wow, that's pretty good. That's you getting up into 96 and 100 years old. That's pretty darn good. Pepper, glad I caught the live. Just got home from my annual drive to Montana and back. Oh, that's right. You do that. How was the drive? Did you do the old white knuckle thing, or were you okay? I think I remember you saying that you were. If I remember, if that was you, you were saying you're a little bit antsy behind the wheel when you're going that far. Yeah, and your 81 Mercury Marquis. Man, remember how big that was, John? Mercury Marquis. That was a beast. We had a Ford Galaxy 500, 390 engine. My buddy had a Oldsmobile, man, a big one. I forget, his mom had it. I mean, it was a boat. It was a boat. It was just giant. Yeah, the song Popcorn. Do, 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 do. Yeah. Well, I don't do it as well as they do, but no fries, chips. He's still alive, huh? Herb Alpert. I could have swore he passed away. How do you feel about Flacco to the Bengals? It's up to the kids. Yes, it's up to the kids, right? I glad Joe got a chance to play, and I mean, he's got the money. He could do a million other things, but if he wants to keep playing, let him play. In Cincinnati, that Jake Browning, he sucks. So I think they're starting Flacco, as last I heard from Adam Schefter. They're starting him, so good for him. Um, I hope he wins a few games for Cincinnati. I feel sorry for Cincinnati because their quarterback gets hurt every year. It's that Joe Burrows. There's always something wrong with him, and I don't think has he played a full season since he came out of college. Dancing out on stage, and wow, I love to drive. Been doing it for over 30 years. It only gets bad when I get back in the DC traffic. Well, that shouldn't be too bad now. There's nobody over there. My mom had a Delta 88. That's what it was, Angela. Last year they made it in a convertible. It was a Delta 88. It was a monster car. LTD with 351 V8. Man, those cars, yeah, the boats of the 70s, those cars were something. And they rusted out. You couldn't even get 100,000 miles on them. They were rusted by 60, 65, 70,000 miles. Well, out here in this area, Michigan, and you guys know, Rick, they didn't last very long. They rusted out so quick. My first car my parents bought me when I was 16 was a 62 Ford Galaxy 500. Straight six, 223, three on the tree. Wow. Yeah, I was just looking at a picture because ours was red interior, red plastic interior, and red car. I'll have to show you the picture. Man, I drove that thing. Because that was just when I was like 16, 17, I got to drive that. That was before we got the Le Mans. And because my stepfather worked at Ford, and he was a dump truck. I think I've said this before. He was a dump truck driver at the foundry and also the bookie, Ford bookie. And he's long gone, so I can say that. But at the Brook Park plant, and he would buy a new Ford something. Like he had the Galaxy 500, he had a Torino. I think maybe those were the only two cars, and then they would pass down to my mom when he was done driving them to work and back. You know, he would buy another one, and we got the Galaxy 500, and then I think he ended up doing something with the Torino, or maybe that was about the time they split up. Could have been. Herb Alpert in 1966, he had 5 albums in the top 10. Wow, John, I didn't know that. You're teaching me something here. More Than a Woman, Jive Talking, Night Fever, Staying Alive, Tragedy, To Love Somebody, that's 6. Well, you're right on. You're spot on, Captain Billy. Retire Inspire. How are you? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Did you ever start the eBay? No, we're going to do the eBay selling later, and as soon as the weather gets really bad. But I do have my. We got the store going anyway, so we got that going, and I'll start the eBay. We were just talking about that because there's so much that we can sell and declutter. So that's a great time. And if you guys get a chance, watch Retire Inspired. He's got a lot of videos about how to sell on eBay, different things like that. And that's what I want to do. So it's a twofold thing. One, get rid of the clutter, and two, make a dime or two on it. Some of the stuff we'll give away, but charity, or put it on our free cycle on Facebook, one of the free things. I've done that quite a bit over the past year. Gave away some stuff that didn't really want to sell. Just take it, you know. My brother had a silver GTO. Wow. With street zoomies on it. A GT, those goats, man. They made those new ones now. I don't know. I've heard people say they like them, but I don't know. It was a Windsor, not a Cleveland big boat. My wife had a 2970 Mustang Mach 1, 1973 Mustang Mach 1. That would be nice if we could just keep these cars. If we would have known, Cleveland police had those giant Plymouth Fury cars. They probably still do. Doc Severinson's still alive. No kidding. Wow. I'll have to look him up. I haven't heard much about him. Chuck Mangione died. That's yes. Thank you, the FTM. That's who I'm thinking of. Yes. Yep. Get them all confused after a while. It's hard to keep up with who's dead and who's alive. There's actually a website, Dead or Alive. Not to make fun of it or anything, but you can't keep up with everybody now. Especially all the people we grew up with are starting to pass away now, and it's a shame. eBay looks like a full-time job. You can make it a full-time job. Gran Torino, great movie, filmed in Detroit. That's with Clint Eastwood, right? That's the one where he pulls the gun out. My 1972 Monte Carlo had a posi rear end, was driving that 1979 back from Ohio. My brother got married, no muffler, back to Wisconsin. No muffler, boy. Didn't you do a live show? I did, Captain Billy. No, but the sound went out. I'll have to start eBay if my furlough becomes they should settle pretty soon. They'll settle in a few days. They think I last heard Trump's heading to the Middle East, and they're going to sign that peace deal. And I think they want to get it done and over with before he leaves. That's what I think. So you won't be out of work too long, Average Joe. Tomorrow is 6 months since I've retired. I've gotten so many things accomplished, and I haven't looked back. Love getting my own things done. I enjoy my days. Dogs, turtles, love it too. Boy, that's great. Yes. I think about it every day. Trust me. Becky, I think about that every day because it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Trust me. Yeah, I may not have the money, but hey, waking up with a smile every day sometimes beats the dollar bill. Sometimes a 69 Pontiac goat, man, Greg, that would have been nice. That would have been nice if we could have just put that in the garage. Please hit me up when you get ready to go. I can give you some points. Yeah, I will. Dave, Retire Inspired Dave, I will. I'll give you a call because I hear some flack about eBay, and I hear some flack about this and that. Being the costs. They're taking more money now, and so I don't know. But once I deep dive into it, I'll deep dive into it and see how it goes. Worst thing for me, but thank you. The worst thing for me was when I left work one day and saw the same car I was taught to drive on. License plates at a historic vehicle. Oh my gosh, that is funny. Oh man, that's crazy. A Ford Pinto. Yeah, man. Remember, my grandfather had a brown Ford Pinto, and he also had, what was the Ralph Nader car? Corvair. He had a white Corvair too. Poor Ralph Nader went crazy on those. Billy Buzz was in the doghouse or had to run to Costco, drop his jersey, Mike. I did. I dropped something. I don't know what I did. I learned to drive on a 69 Chevy Impala with 3 on the tree. Boy, you're aging yourself, Scott, there. You're working on sending an updated crane picture. Okay, we got room. We'll take one of Captain Billy's pictures down, and we'll put the cranes up there. 1977 Grand Prix, my mom stolen. Oh, really? Oh, man. Rick, that's no good. I've never had a car stolen, or I don't know anybody that's ever had, but I can just imagine you walking out one day and your car is gone. And it happens so often in so many different places. And like in Cleveland, these 12 and 13-year-olds are doing it because if they get caught, they just basically kick them back to the curb, underage. And, these places are, these gangs or whatever are just setting up these 12 and 13-year-olds and go out and steal them. They teach them how to do it and show them the ropes, and they know they won't get in trouble. It's really a shame. It really is. You work hard, you pay a lot of money for a car, and whether it's used or new, and to see it ripped off, I mean, it's just that's heartbreaking. Had I known, bought it for 719. Yeah, it's just like anything, Greg. You never know what's going to be good, what's going to be bad, and but man, I tell you, I always dreamed that if I just had the forward knowledge. Now, you buy a car, normally you can't buy two because you have to have something to drive. So you can't just buy two and put one away. We didn't have that kind of money back then, right, as kids. But it would have been nice just to store one away and um, pop it, 30 years later, go take a look at it or something like that. And that'd be nice. No, I think the Corvairs were the ones that blew up. I think. Yeah, I could imagine, Angela. That would hurt your feelings. Yeah. eBay keeps around 12 to 18%, depending on, yeah. Put an Apple AirTag in your car. I don't have Apple, but they won't take my car. I don't think so. Mine's too old. Vicky, it's working now, I think. Hello, Kaz. How are you doing? Your dad's 61 Ford Fairline 500 at 300. I've never driven a car with 300 tree. I've never even seen one actually. Pinto had the exploding gas tank. Oh, I thought it was the Corvair. What was wrong with the Corvair then? What was Ralph Nader jumping up and down about? 78 Camaro Rally Sport was stolen. Oh, Perry. My wife had one. Blue, black and gold. 70 something. The Camaro Rally Sport. She had one. But yours was stolen? That sucks, Perry. When you buy something for $5 at a yard sale and sell it the next day for 160, 12 to 14% ain't bad. And that's what Dave does. Retire Inspired. That's what Dave does. Um, he finds stuff and he puts it. I'm telling you, it's so weird. People will buy all kinds of crap. I mean, you can make it functional and they'll buy it. It's just really crazy. Yes, Kaz, got it fixed up. Don't know how. Don't know why. You think I went out for a few seconds? No, I was doing that to Vicky. I was just doing that to Vicky. I had a gorgeous because she was early. She was here with us earlier at 2 o'clock when it went out. So, um, had to do that. Name is Sam, not Dave. No, then I got you confused with somebody else. Then you're not the one I'm thinking of, and it's my fault. I apologize. I am thinking of somebody else, and because people keep changing. This guy changed his channel name, so I get confused. So I apologize, but um, I'm trying to think now who Dave's channel was. I don't know. I don't remember now. Learn to drive on a manual stick shift on a VW Bug. I've never even been in a VW Bug. They started making those again for a short time, didn't they? Not too long ago. I've seen a lot of them but I think they stopped again, right? ADHD Dave. Yeah, I don't, I don't know. I don't. Do you remember his channel name? I don't remember. I thought it was Retire Inspired, but it's something like that. It's similar. It's similar to you. Miss Saturday the flew 4 birthdays to celebrate. Oh boy, October birthday get together with cousins, family for pizza. 63 feels like 18 legal. Oh, geez. Yeah, we're gonna ourselves. We're Friday. We're gonna have a clam bake. We do our annual clam bake with just the kids. We're my daughter and her husband. So I'll pick up 100 clams on Friday. Hey, Captain Billy, you ever been to Shaker's Fish Market over there on Pearl? They got clams. They got good clams. Corvair's rear suspension and high center. Oh, they flipped over, huh, Greg? Okay. My two older brothers had a series of VWs. Oh, retired with a purpose. Retire. I'm sorry. That's right. See, retire inspired, retired with purpose. It's the same shit. I get confused. I'm sorry. I really am. I apologize. Yeah, retired with purpose, Dave. Yes. And your logos. I can only see this like when on my feed here. I see this little logo, and it looks like his logo too, his thumbnail or whatever you want to call that. And so yeah, so I'm confused. Once you hit 65, it's like you never know. you never know. I learned to drive in a 71 Buick Skylark. Ooh, metallic blue with a black vinyl top. That was beautiful. My stepdad would take me and I made him spill his beer. I knew I did bad. Yeah, he wasn't cutting no diamonds in that one when you're driving, right? Retired and loving it. Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened. I was watching for a relaunch stream, but had given up. No, I was frustrated, and I wanted to take time to diagnose what the problem is, and I just didn't want to try to reboot, and go through. I just said, the heck with it. And like I said, I couldn't find anything wrong. I just rebooted the whole computer. I went into the, checked everything, and I didn't find anything wrong. So I have no idea what happened. All right, just Mike's take. See ya. Yeah, we won't be here long. I mean, it's been we've been on an hour just goes by like I just can't believe it. Oh, big and bad news. Someone hacked into my credit and applied for 2 credit cards. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Yeah, I know. I thought about freezing the credit. Someone else was telling me about that. That they do theirs too. I've been thinking about it, and I just haven't done it. But I use Citibank, and Citibank is real good. All you got to do, man, they'll take the charge off without hesitation, and they send you a new card. So I've had a couple instances where I've had problems. And their Citibank is great to work with. Maybe all of them do that, but these pop-up ads are messing. Oh yeah, sorry about that. I leave the ads on Wednesday. I don't take them off. My channel is much more than just reselling. I include my rental houses, Airbnbs. Just got back from maybe yeah. I think I saw one of your videos recently. I saw on the screen something about that, a Mayberry, yeah. The first car I owned was an MGB. Oh, really? I use Malwarebytes to block ads. There's also a free trial version. Yeah, Paula, if you pay for the YouTube premium, then you don't get the ads, right? And I still get revenue. You keep yours frozen? Yeah, okay. I should have stayed retired 2 years ago. Now they keep moving the date. Hopefully one more week. Yeah, Greg, and I still have not gotten the homework done. I was been working on these steps and trying to get these outdoor projects done. So you're so nice to, want to help me get things accomplished. And I'm sorry I haven't done that yet. And I'm going to try to get that done fairly soon. So Greg, I apologize. I'm doing a lot of apologizing today. I froze my credit 4 years ago on advice from an expert. Easy to undo. Yeah, and you're right. I opened a Sam's credit card because I think I did that video a while back where I had a Costco and I opened the Sam's one because I was using the Costco credit card at Sam's and it wasn't really helping me that much, or using gas when I go to Sam's because I go to Costco once a month. I go to Sam's 2 or 3 times a month. So it made sense to get the Sam's, and they gave me $50. So they did a hard inquiry, but I said, well, maybe after that I should, because someone else was telling me about freezing freezing everything. And I said, well, once this is done, I'm not going to be applying for any credit cards that I can see or any kind of loans or anything like that that I know of. And like you said, you can unfreeze it at any time. So maybe I should do that in the next few days. John's touchpad. Yeah, it's got to be easy. Yeah. But these are new credit cards, not charges on my existing cards. Oh, someone got in and ordered cards from two different banks and changed the last name. Ah, wow. Yeah, take your time. Yeah, I will. I just, retirement is funny because you finish this project and then I got, okay, I want to do this. I want to do this. I got to do this. I have a couple other things I wanted to get done in the house, and I haven't done those either. Just some simple things, and I haven't even done that yet. So, because once I get into it, I don't want to stop. I take a block of time and I'll work on, and then that always leads to something else. So once you start doing something, that leads like down into a rabbit hole. Well, if I'm going to do this, I should clean the back. Well, if I'm going to clean the back, hey, I might as well take the computer apart and clean the dust off inside. Well, if I'm doing that, maybe I should upgrade the computer. Maybe I could put a new fan in there and put some new memory in there. Well, let me check that. It's a rabbit hole. Everything I touch, it's like you don't want to have to touch it again for a long time. So you just keep deep diving into stuff. You recently had to unfreeze yours to set up an account. Yeah, a credit union, right? Just got back to my desk. I have to do more decluttering. Yeah, that's for me for sure. Hey, Sherry M. Yeah, we're just about getting ready to get out of here. We were just testing the mic. We tried it too. It didn't work. Biked in the subdivision today and feel better. Yeah. Yeah. The legs. I'm telling you. And I'm the worst at this because I have a machine down in the basement that I can do legs. I can do leg lifts and I don't use it. And everybody I see that I talk to, their legs are the first to go. And I I gotta strengthen up my legs. Everybody should, whether you're going to a gym or whether you have a home gym or just by walking or whatever. But I think that's very, very important. Easy to get distracted when, hey, Steve, yes, absolutely. One thing leads to another, doesn't it, Steve? I love it that we're all here with life experiences, free advice, trial and error. Appreciate you all and your fear of that. I'm glad you guys are here. That's just really nice that you guys are all here. I froze all mine. I thought about getting rid of unused cards, but that hurts your credit. Squirrel. They're investigating. I caught the activity really quick and reached out to the 3 bureaus. Brain damage was done. Huh. I walk and shoot. Yeah. And shoot basketball. That's good. Yeah. The legs, I'm telling you, my father-in-law specifically, just a super, he's strong. I mean, he was a strong guy, but once his legs went and he couldn't, he couldn't walk and stuff. And man, and I just wish he would have, and I'm falling into that same trap where I'm walking and I'm doing stuff outside, but I think you really got to stretch. You really got to, I got this bike right here. I need to ride that bike, stationary bike. And I need to be doing those type of things. And I say I'm going to do it and I don't do it. And it's going to come and get me one of these days. I'm telling you. I have time to retire to your med beds. Yeah. My basement is called clutter to the max. TJ Mo, stack electricity from your bag crossed your signal. And really? You think that was what it was? My sister fell outside my house up north and couldn't get up. I think it scared her pretty good. Yeah, my neighbor, she came last month, 3 weeks ago, last month, 4 weeks ago. She came knocking on our back door here and she said, hey, could you help me? My friend has fallen. And I went over there and she was sitting on the doorstep and she couldn't get up. So, I sat down next to her and I said, is anything hurt? Because I don't want to grab her and then, if something was broken or messed up on her. How's your back? So I asked her 5 or 6 questions before I touched her, and then okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick you up under your arms right here, and we're just going to go straight up. Are you ready? And she's, yeah, and so she was okay, but she couldn't get up, and she's not. She was in her 70s. I mean, she seemed fine, but legs couldn't get her up. Basements are killers. Our garage needs a lot of clearing out again. I did my water heater drain out the sediment at 6 months and ran the cleaner in the water. Oh, that's good. I'm not going to do my water heater. I just got it done this summer, I won't do it for a year, being brand new. I get down on the floor every day to stretch a little when I get up without using anything to help me. Oh, that's good. I know the biggest thing is for me is stretching, and I do that. Just bending over, picking stuff up or whatever, but that's important to stretch your legs too. About that living alone. I think my daughter makes sure she sees Facebook activity. Those peddling units, it's really small. Yeah, I don't know. Kaz, I don't know about those. I think that's a bunch of crap, to tell you the truth. Just my opinion. I just don't. You're just better off getting yourself a fairly inexpensive stationary bike, I think. Or if you can get, like an elliptical or under my computer desk. Yeah, if you can do something like that or whatever. But the stationary bike, I think biking really, really helps. And if you can't ride the roads, especially in the wintertime, you can't. These stationary bikes, what do I have? I have a, I don't even know what the name of this thing is. I should clear the dust off the seat. Walking tour of the Haldane Lincoln family home in Vermont. Retirement is underrated. Just popped a video out. Yeah, walking the dogs does help. And JNP 96, when I'm walking up the hill, I don't know if you've seen on some of the shorts, there's a little hill. I can feel it in my legs when I walk that hill, but it's okay. I want it to be like that, Mom fell one time and couldn't get up, and Dad wasn't as strong. Yeah, he got the lift. He used to lift oil barrels and lifted her up. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's another thing too. When my father-in-law, he had basically passed out. Long story, but he was down on the ground. I couldn't pick him up. I just could not get him up, and there's no way I could do it. And I'm not frail, and I couldn't pick him up. So I called the Seven Hills. They live in Seven Hills. I called the fire department. I said, "Hey, I hate to do this to you," and they say, "Hey, man, no problem." They came out and they picked him up, and they just, 2 guys came and picked him up, and they were checked him over, and he was okay, but that was kind of scary because I couldn't lift him, and scary times. That's why I have a personal trainer. Oh boy. Yeah, I think there's more reasons than that, but okay. That's Captain Billy's. He'll tell you. Vicky West, thanks for the input. I'll stick with my bicycle and walking the dogs. Our stationary bike is one of those old ones. Oh, it has the speedometer. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what the name is. Sunny something, I think it's called. It's pretty nice actually. I've ridden it before, I've off and on, not the summer I haven't, but in the fall and winter I will, because it warms me up when I'm outside. I do 10-15 minutes on the bike in the wintertime, and get a little sweat going, and then I feel better being outside in the winter. Well, anyway, it's already an hour and 13 minutes, and this was supposed to be just a test of the broadcast system. So I'm glad 60 of you found your way here, and I really appreciate that. Checking out the microphone here, which should have been a 5-minute thing. It's gone an hour and 15 minutes. Time really flies with you people, I'll tell you. There isn't a thing I could do that goes faster than this. I mean, this is a good time for me. Yeah, the Buzz broadcasting system. Yeah, and I appreciate all of you being here. So I'm going to go in and eat and see what's on the boob tube and see what's happening. And Captain Billy, maybe I'll bring you a pizza tomorrow or something, huh? I'll be out in your neighborhood, so I'll stop at Menards and see how you're doing. So take it easy, everybody, and we'll see you Saturday, 7 p.m. And God willing, and stay out of jail, Captain, and all the rest of you. And we'll talk to you again. See you later. Thanks for being here.